It's so much rain yesterday and overnight. Oh, we had thunderstorms overnight, and thought I'd pop out and see how my garden's faring. It's not doing too badly. Of course, it's all had some lots of water, so everything's flourishing. I can't get over my fuchsia over there. It's just amazing. And my cuttings have got greenery on them. It's wonderful. And my jasmine is full of buds, flower buds. It's got loads of flower buds. Wow. It's very cool. Yeah, the size of my fuchsia. I pruned it about 2 or 3 months back, 2 months back. And it's just powering along. Yeah. I'm going to get lots of grevillea flowers. Well, a lot, meaning more than 2, which is what I got last season. So, heading into the studio. Second video in a few days. Hopefully I won't need to do another one because, yeah, I lost the one that I did that should have been up days ago. Anyway, I'm going to pause this and put you on the phone stand. Hi. Okay, so it's I don't know, about 8:30 in the morning here in Adelaide, and I've been up since most of the night. I can't get my sleep pattern back where I sleep during normal hours like every other normal person, and yeah, so I'm having a hard time regulating my sleep pattern after I went through a 2-week period of not being able to eat or sleep properly for either of those things. Several weeks back, I had quite a bit of stress, humongous emotional upset, and yeah, so I haven't been able to regain my sleep, and I did sleep though during the evening. Yesterday evening I did sleep for a few hours, but of course when I woke up at around 11 o'clock I was wide awake, so hence I've been up all night, and yeah, just watching TV. I could have come in and done some art, but I was a bit worried if I dropped something in here or, you know, knocked the wall or whatever, that I might have disturbed the neighbours. Our walls aren't that thick, they're a bit thin actually, and I have done mixed media on it, so we're going to do something on there. I've already penciled it in, so we'll see how we go. Now, we did have a video that was meant to come up a few days ago, as I had promised in the studio tour, which I did do. It took me ages to do the last video, and I was so proud of the piece that I did in the video, I was so proud of how it turned out. I spent a huge amount of time on it, and I had I don't know how many, I can't remember now, how many video segments saved on my phone, and I plugged, at the end of it all, I plugged my phone in to the PC to transfer everything. And when I transferred it, I realised, oh bugger, I should have rotated, half of them needed to be rotated. So I thought, oh, that's all right, I'll come out of here and I'll go back on my phone and I'll rotate them. And not thinking, I deleted the ones on the computer so that then it's not taking up space. But I still had the phone plugged in. So, you know, when you've got the phone and the PC plugged together for transfer, it's like one brain. You know, they're two separate things, but it's one brain. You know, and so it not only deletes it off the PC, but it deletes them off your phone. Now, under normal circumstances, if you delete photos on your phone, it goes into the recycle bin. You can find them if you go to your storage and you look in your recycle bin. But no, they weren't in the phone recycle bin, and they weren't on the computer in the recycle bin. They were totally gone, totally erased forever. So I was absolutely devastated. All I had was the initial very beginning, which was nothing. It wasn't even a welcome to the channel type thing. It was me making a coffee and lighting my incense and, you know, stuff that you probably don't actually want to see. Like, you wouldn't have wanted to see the garden. But, you know, I sort of wanted to bring something different to the channel, and I was so proud of this video. I was so proud of the painting, and I totally fucked it up. That's why you haven't had a video up when I said I was going to put one up. And I was so despondent with it all that I haven't really done anything for days. So anyway, this is the painting. It's a watercolour mixed media piece. It's done on A2. And I've tried to, I did introduce some very subtle ink drips, and it's got Neo Colour 2s in it, felt tip pen, acrylic paint and watercolour. So this is called Sybil, and she, hopefully I'll have a frame for her. I think she deserves a frame. But Sybil was another word for empath. I wanted to I wanted to do a painting for that, and I couldn't think what. It meant a lot to me to do it, and so I googled other names for empath, a bit like a thesaurus, you know, on a Google thesaurus, and a long list of names come up, and Sybil was one of them, and I thought, oh great, she looks like a Sybil, so that's what it's called. So anyway, I'm going to do this acrylic painting. I'll probably put some Neo Colour 2 in it, and perhaps some ink, probably some more stenciling, because the stencils that I've got on there you can't really sort of see very well, and I've got some interesting bits for the end of it, which I can't do until the very end. I even need to put a varnish on it before I can do the other bits. So it's going to be an interesting piece, this one. And so I think I'll stop talking and I will go and gather all my stuff, and I will come back. Hello everyone, it's Jenny here. Welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry that the upload that I said that I was going to do during that studio tour has been taken so long, but I did kind of explain at the beginning of this one what went on. And plus this one that I'm doing in this video here did actually take me a few days, a few hours a day. I had to leave, it to dry. I don't always like to use the heat tool on my artwork. I kind of like my paint, no matter what kind of paint I'm using, I kind of like it to dry naturally. So yeah, this did take me quite a few goes, and yes, so I hope you can stay for the whole video, and I thought I'd fill you in with what's been happening as to why I haven't been uploading, and just I'd like to keep um, I'd like to be transparent on my channel, and I kind of think, if you follow a channel, you are following it because you are going to be getting regular videos from them. And that hasn't been the case for me, and I'm really sorry about that. Uh, so anyway, I'll try and be as brief as possible about all this. I don't really want to go too much into it. I'm going through a healing process, and the more I talk about stuff, the more I'm holding on to it when I should be releasing. So I will try and be as brief as I can. If you've watched some of my other videos, you may have heard that I had a housemate. Well, I no longer have the housemate after about a year and a half of gaslighting, manipulation, and breadcrumbing, silent treatment, and physical aggression. That's all come to an end, and thankfully, I'm really thankful that it has all come to an end, because it was really distressing for me. It was extremely confusing. I already suffer from high anxiety and depression, and I have my own, mental health issues, uh, which go back way back into my childhood. And this whole situation has brought up a lot of trauma from my childhood that I should have dealt with long ago. So that's not my housemate's fault, that's my fault. But yeah, things that I thought that I had come to terms with, um, I hadn't, and I had to deal with them. And so as a result of all this, it all came to a head about 6 or so weeks ago. And he left, and I went into semi self isolation throughout July and August, and to do some healing, to try and do some very deep soul searching and adjust um, to like I had to adjust to so much. I had to adjust to being alone and learning to like being alone, learning that being alone is not the end of the world, which it's not. I'm not lonely. I don't like being alone all the time, but I'm happy to be alone. And I don't know, I don't know. There's just so much to tell, and I really don't want to go into. You don't want to hear all the nitty gritties of it all. I'm not after pity from anyone. I don't want pity. I don't want sympathy. You know, if you want to give a bit of sympathy, fine. But I'm not here for that. I'm not here for new subscribers because people might feel sorry for me or whatever. My channel's not about that. My channel is about art, and um, once I get through this, that's what I want it to remain to be about. I, you know, I'm a compassionate person, and I have a heart full of love for what I do. Um, for people, I like to communicate with people about things that I enjoy. In particular, art. Art is my passion, and I like to share it. I'm only a beginner, but I believe that over time I will be able to gain the confidence to actually really show you what I know, so that you can learn too. Um, but the whole process is letting go of vulnerability, uh, allowing myself to be vulnerable, and um, and sharing what I do here on YouTube with all of you. And I'd like you to remain a part of whatever community I can build. Um, and, perhaps, uh, I don't know, do you form YouTube friendships? I've got no idea. I've got no idea what you do. But, I think a big part of that is being upfront about things. And I just wanted you to know that this last year and a half, as hard as I tried to make things work, to offer someone who I thought was a friend, who I thought we had a good bond, tried to offer him support, love, and um, friendship, and I was betrayed. Uh, my friendship itself was betrayed, and that kind of affected my confidence in myself, my self-concept, and yeah, my self-esteem was totally shot, and I just didn't feel that I had anything left in me. I had nothing left in me to believe that I was creating anything worthwhile, and therefore I had nothing to put on YouTube. So this has been a really difficult time for me to come to terms with, and relearning how to do videos, editing, and all that. It's all a part of it. I'm having a tough time remembering how to use the program I use, and yeah. So I feel like I'm relearning everything all over again. It's just quite ridiculous, really. Anyway, um,
that's pretty much it. I think that I have got something to offer this channel. I hope that through all the pain I've had over the years, my whole life pretty much, because I came from an abusive home life, uh, and all my school years were not very happy, and parts of my adult years were very, very, very challenging, and I've had a terrible time that I've had to work out ways of overcoming. And because my art is it's very, very expressive of my inner thoughts, uh, those issues will probably come up in some way in my art, but in a positive way, not in the negative. And so from that, I'm hoping that I can share that with you, and that if anyone out there is going through some sort of ordeal in their life, that I might be able to indirectly help them, without knowing. I don't need to know your story. All I need to do is do my art, tell you the story behind it, put it up there on YouTube, and someone will hear that and think, wow, I can identify with that, and that may help them. If you know what I mean. I did have a script, but it was pages long, so now I'm just rambling. Um, anyway, so that's essentially it. Since he's left, things have looked up. The healing has been happening, and I've moved from the dungeon, all my art, into my house part. So now my art is in a lovely art space. I've got that in one room, and in the other room I've got um, all my junk journaling stuff, which I'll be doing my folios and everything. So, and that's my office space as well, because I've got a 3-bedroom unit. So I was able to have 2 art spaces. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You know, people are struggling to get one art space that's worthwhile having, and I've got 2. Um, so yeah, I'm really pleased, and I've got a website that I've done. It's published, I think. I'm pretty think I don't know. I'll have to check that, but I'll be letting you all know about that when I'm positive what's going on with it. But I have got a website that's up and running. I've still got the junk journals on Etsy. I closed my Jenny Ann art on Etsy because I was having so much trouble with Etsy. I'm not happy with them. And yeah, and I'm raring to go. So I'm going to be doing videos at least bi-weekly for the time being, maybe tri-weekly, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this is it, pretty much. I don't know what else to say, really. Um, yeah, just like I'm not after I'm not after the pity and this new subscribers or whatever because of this video. I new subscribers would be great. Views of my whole videos would be great, but essentially it's me having the confidence to put my work out there and letting you know that if you're going through something, not you're not alone, and that there are people out there who are happy to listen, and there are ways to heal and get through it. I won't say get over it, because I don't know that you ever really do, but you learn to uh, get through it and see that you can have some sort of great quality life where you know that you're loved and wanted. Yeah, so that's that. Now we'll get on to this painting that I'm doing. It's called Insight, which again, like Sybil, which I actually, that was the reason, one of the reasons, I'll just go back to Sybil for a sec. When I did Sybil, that was during the height of my healing process. That's why I was so devastated when that video just, I killed it. And yeah, I was so proud of the painting, and the actual video was quite good. And yeah, I was so disappointed. And this one also has been, this is at near the tail end of my healing process. And yeah, it's called Insight. So it is very significant to me, and I really enjoyed doing it. The you'll see near the end that there's some hardware that goes on it. I've got like metal cogs and metal keys. I've got some little tiny tree of life charms. There's a locket charm that I've got to put on there as well, which I haven't decorated the locket yet. I do need to find something to put in the face of that. But yeah, and chains. I've got like bronze look chains, which I'm adding to the painting. So that's not my idea. Someone sent me a photo, a screenshot of somebody's beautiful art piece that they had done, and it was of a lady with her head held back and her hair flowing down, and she had all chains hanging out of her head, and flowers too, I think. I can't remember now. But all the chains were hanging out of her hair past the canvas, and it just looked absolutely stunning. And I thought to myself, I'm going to have to do something like that, because that is just amazing. And so that's where I got this particular idea from. So my battery's going flat on my laptop. I have to go plug it in right near the end of this voiceover. So just bear with me for a minute. And I hope the neighbours don't hear me. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. So yeah, the unfortunately the when you get to that part of the video, you don't get to see me fumble around with my pliers and my needle nose pliers and that, because that's all at the bottom end of the panel, and I couldn't move it up further on the table so that it would be more in shot, because I wouldn't have been able to, I was having a hard time seeing it as it was. Yeah, so I wouldn't have been able to be close enough to it. And yeah, so unfortunately I had no choice but to leave the painting where it was on the table. And so I did speed up that section though quite a bit. So, and I was swearing a little bit in it too, because it was frustrating me so much. it's been a long while since I've used the pliers, and I had the shakes. It was late at night. I was really tired, and I was having a hard time seeing what I was doing and trying to pry open the jump rings to fit the charms on and fit the chain on and then close them was just, yeah, it was a challenge. So all up, this painting, I think if I tried to think about the hours that or the time that it took, probably about 6 hours or so, around about. That's leaving drying, like including drying time, because yeah, I don't like to use the heat tool on any of my paint if I can get away with it. And also before putting the hardware on, I had to varnish the painting. So, and I needed to leave that. I left it for almost 2 days to properly cure. Yeah. So, and the glue that I've used is Helmars. It's a fabric glue. I'll leave details of all my resources down in the show more section. But it's a really, really strong glue. It's a really good glue. Yeah, and I did try to put a picture for a thumbnail attached to the video, but it's not accepting it. So hopefully I'll be able to get that picture on YouTube so that you can actually see it with the details hanging off the panel. So, and the paper I used is all steampunk paper. It's from Stamperia, from the Lady Vagabond kit. Yeah. So we're coming right near to the end of it. There's not much more to go now. So if you've got this far in the video, I'm so grateful that you did stick through and watch the whole thing. I think the next art one that I'll be doing will be in an art journal. I might actually go through the process a little bit more so that you actually can get a real gist of what I'm doing. It's not my process, it's a learned one, but I'll explain that to you. But the next actual video will be one to do with junk journals. And for anyone into junk journal studio tours, I'll be doing one of those for this room too. Yeah, so I'm going to try and I want to do 2 videos per week. Alright, so until the next one, thank you for dropping in, watching my video. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It would be so appreciated. Peaceful blessings, everyone, and stay safe. Bye for now.